Yeah, we are in module 7, lesson 5. Let me just write. Oh my God. Write and solve one step multiplication and division inequalities. Okay, and yesterday we said it's important to understand the question very well and depend on the keywords, at least, at most, no more than, less than, right? And whether if it is multiplication or division. Now we did addition and subtraction writing, right? And we said if we have total in all and addition, right? And if we have the difference, subtraction. Now in multiplication and division, depending on understanding the question context. You need to read the question very well, understand the question, live inside the question, imagine it. And yesterday Dominic made a party for his friends, right? 12 friends, remember? So imagine yourself that you are Dominic. Got it? And think, is it multiplication? You need to multiply or you need to divide, right? Yesterday we did example 1 and the check. Today we will go to example 2. So let's go to example 2 together. We are on page 367. Yeah, let's read together. Read it, Muhammad. Muhammad.
Miss Miller is buying wax to make candles. She wants to make at least.
You know the wax. Shama. Yeah.
She wants to make at least 35 candles.
But at least 35 candles means more than or equal 35, right? Focus with these things, these small details. At least 35 candles. Keep in your mind, at least 35 means more than or equal. Now let's search about our variable. Continue.
I need 6.5 ounces of wax for each candle. Write and solve an inequality to determine the amount of wax.
But what's the unknown here? The amount of wax. We don't know how much the amount of wax should be, right? So let x, yeah, let x be the amount of wax needs to make at least 35 candles, right? So how much the wax needed for making what? 35 or more, at least, right? But if we have, continue. Write and solve inequality to determine the amount of wax she needs to buy, then interpret the solution. Okay, fine. Now the amount of wax we have this big amount of wax, and we need to take small parts from it to make what? Candles, right? So each candle needs how much? 6.5 means this big amount of wax, I need to take each part from it 6.5 to make candles. So I'll take this, the first 6.5, I will make the first candle. So then I will go to the amount of wax and I will take the second. Yani assume that this is the amount of wax, right? Right? And I will take the first part, how much? 6.5 to make the first candle, right? Then I will take the second part. How much also? Then I will take the third part. Then what I'm doing here, I'm dividing the wax, right? I'm dividing the wax, the amount of wax, right? So the amount of wax divided by what? By 6.5, because each one wax, each one candle, sorry, needs how much? 6.5 ounces. Got it? Do you understand? So here we will divide X divided the amount of wax divided on 6.5 to know how many candles. Assume, I'm assuming. Forget this. I want you to understand why we will divide here. Assume that you have, he is absent. Yeah. Now assume that you have 30 ounces of wax, okay? 30. Assume that we know the amount of wax, which is 30 ounces. خلاص? طب, I'm assuming, forget the example. Assume that we have 30, OZ means what? Ounce. Assume that the amount of wax she has is how much? 30. But if each candle needs 5 ounces. Each candle, ركز. Each candle needs 5 ounces. OZ means what? Ounces. لا كويس ما شاء الله عليه. لا كويس. لا هيها فاتح كتاب وكل شيء على طول. ايه يلا. Not always, depending on the context. طيب ركز معي. If each candle needs 5 ounces, how many candles we can make from the 30? I will ask myself a question. How many fives in the 30, right? صح? So I'm dividing the 30 to the 5 to know how much or how many candles. So here, how many candles I can make? 6 candles, right? How we get the 6? By dividing the total amount on how much each candle needs, right? And give it what? The 6. Same idea here, but here we don't know what the 30. We call it ish. So I will divide X on how many ounces this candle needs. And 35 at least means I want 35 or more, and 35, 36, 37 candles and go on. So here let's divide X by what? 6.5. Okay? Done? Yeah. So let's write our inequality. Now X, the amount of wax divided by each wax needed, how much needs how much? 6.5. At least more than or equal how much? 35 candles. This is the inequality. Now, division inequality, one step, we multiply both sides by the divisor, remember? But the divisor here positive. Remember, if it's negative, we switch the inequality. Don't forget that. So here, X over 6.5 more than or equal 35, multiply both sides by what? To cross this, and here 6.5, sorry. So X will be more than or equal. Now 35 multiply 227.5 ounces. 227.5 ounces. What this mean? What this mean? Means this lady, she need to go to the shop and buy 227.5 or more. If she buy less, if she bought less than this, ركز. If she bought 225, for example, can she make 35 candles? No, she will make less than 35, which is not wanted in the question. Got it? But if she bought exactly, ركز, if she bought exactly 227.5, she will get 35 exact. You understand? Again, we have 227.5, right? If she bought less than this number, she will make less than 35 candles, which is not wanted. Got it? If she bought more than 227.5, she will make more than 35 candles, which is acceptable, right? If she bought exactly 225.7, she will make exactly 35 candles. Got it? Which is acceptable also because we have equal sign. Do you understand it? Are you sure? Good. Yes.
She wants to make at least 35 candles. Why make it over 6.5?
I did. At least means what? If طيب, I make more than or equal. Why will make less than or equal? I made it more than or equal.
So the 6.5 should be
لا, not this. How 6.5 more than 35? Focus يا ابني. The division of x and 6.5, the quotient, the answer should be more than 35. يعني x assume, مش احنا حكينا x more than 227.5 or equal. Assume x 230. Is it acceptable? Yes. Now divide 230 divided by 6.5. Calculator, how much? 230 divided by 6.5. How much? I'm assuming a value for x. Huh? 35.3. يعني more than 35. Got it? Not the 6.5 should be more than. No. How much? How come 6.5 more than 35? No. But the division, the quotient between the x and the 6.5 should be more. If you know x, yani now this lady, when she go to the shop, she know how much she will buy. Yani, I want to make 40 candles. She knows that she need to buy more than 227.5. Got it? But she won't tell the owner, give me 220. Why? Because she will make less than 35 candles, depending on our inequality. Okay? Else. Graph. 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 Yes. We didn't do multiply. 6.5 multiply x equal what? So let's go to our example, which we did before we solved. We said if we have 30 candles, 30 ounces of wax, right? And each candle needs 5. We multiply 5 by 30 to know how many candles? ماشي. 5 multiply x, then equal what? More than or equal 30? 30 is the total amount. ماشي. ركز. If we have 30 amount of wax, خلاص? And each candle needs 5 ounces. What we do to know how many candles? We divide or multiply? We divide the amount of wax or multiply it? We divide it. صح? But depending on what's the thing is unknown. The thing is unknown is the total amount. The total amount, we need to divide it to know how much each candle needs. Get it? Check. After example 2, we have check, right? You can graph it, guys, in the number line here. 227.5, it's between 227 and 228 at the middle. Put a close circle and make it to the right. Right. at the end كاتبين at the last line in the same example. So Mrs. Miller needs, or you can write Miss Miller's needs at least 225.7. It's the same. Huh? Yeah, let's go to the check after example 2 together. Let's go to the check. Read it, Rayyan. Thomas. Bas. Thomas wants to make popsicles from a juice mixture. So he has juice mixture and he wants to make what? Popsicles. Continue. For each one popsicle, he needs how much? 7.5 ounces of juice. يعني عندي أنا كمية جوس بدي أعمل منهم popsicles. كل or each 7.5 ounces makes one popsicle. Got it? فهمنا? So I will divide this amount of juice to know how many 7.5 inside it, right? The number of the 7.5s is the number of the popsicles. يعني if you have this amount of juice, focus with me. If you have this amount of juice, I will take from it كم عشان to make one popsicle 7.5, right? Then I will take from it another 7.5. Then I will take from it another 7.5 لحتى يخلصوا صح؟ To finish them. مش هيك؟ So what I'm doing for the whole amount, I'm dividing it on what? On 7.5, right? Continue. No more than, less than or equal. From the table, remember we have a table. So no more than means what? Less than or equal. So the question wants me to divide this amount of juice into 7.5 to make no more than what? 12 popsicles, right? Continue. Wait. Now, before he continue, we know how much each popsicle needs. And we know how much or how many popsicles at least we need to, at most we need to make, right? But the thing we don't know that what? The whole amount of juice which we need to use, right? صح يا عمر? Yeah. Continue. Yes. So we don't know the amount of juice, right? Yeah. Check. Page 368. So the unknown thing here is what? The amount of juice, right? So let x be the amount of juice. Ti هنا صح؟ طيب, this x I need to what? To divide it or to multiply it? To divide it. The whole amount we divide it, right? So x we need to divide it on how much? On 7.5 to make no more than. In Arabic words مش أكثر من, مش هيك؟ يلا. Less than or equal 12 popsicles, which is D. So select D. Done? Now in part B we will solve it. يلا solve it. 7.5 we multiply it by 12, right? Yeah. Yeah. So here x over 7.5 less than or equal to 12. We multiply both sides by Yeah, x less than or equal 7 by 12. 7 by 12 and the half of the 12, 84, 9. So here, x less than or equal what? 9. So the amount of juice should be either 90 or less. Okay? Right. Now, you did the step of the solution, guys, in part B. Now, in part C, interpret the solution. Now, let's understand the solution. They don't ask me to graph it, right? So, they said Thomas needs to make no more than what? 9. لازم يعمل no more مش أكثر من 90 ounces of juice to make a 12 or less, right? When we can use multiply here. Focus now what I will tell. If the whole amount is known, ركز. If x is known, نعرف x. يعني assume that assume that look here. Focus. If the whole amount of juice, assume for example 80 ounces. خلاص? We know the whole amount. Right. And each popsicle needs, let's say, ماشي 5 ounces. I'm asking you how many popsicles he can make, right? ركز. So this is the unknown, right? This is x. Each popsicle needs 5. Each popsicle needs what? 5. طب how many popsicles I can make? I'm assuming. Assume that I want to make 6 popsicles. How much the amount of juice? 6 by 5. So each one needs 5, and I want to make 6. 5, 5, 5, 5. I'm multiplying 6 by 5. How much? 30. Assume that I want to make 10 popsicles. 10 by 5. صح? 50. Assume that I want to make 12 popsicles. 12 by 5. Assume, let's go. Assume that I want to make x popsicles. x by 5. x by 5 هذه, which is 5x, should be equal or less than or more than, depending on the question. Assume we are doing equations. Equal what? 80. See? So the whole amount, I know it. Then I need to do multiply. But if I don't know the whole amount, I need to divide it. Got it? وضحت how when we will make multiply? Right. Yes. What? No, it won't be. It won't be. 2 variables, it won't be. 2 variables, it won't be. You cannot solve one equation or one inequality. No, one equation exactly with 2 variables. One equation with 2 variables. Depending يعني ما هو depending on the question. You cannot just assume. عرفت? Give me example. This what? Here we have 3 things. The whole amount, how many popsicles, and how much each popsicle needs, right? 3 things. One of them should be unknown. One of them. You cannot. X plus what? So you have one variable. No, x and x, one variable. You cannot. Yeah, mister, you cannot. X and y, they are not like terms. Yeah, mister, افهم. Do you understand what I'm talking? If you have one equation, you cannot have two variables inside it. X and x, it's one variable. For example, look, you said x plus what? X plus 6 plus 1 plus x, right? Plus y equal مثلا 10. You cannot solve this. You cannot solve it. You have two variables. You have two variables. Two variables in one equation, no one can solve it. Got it? One equation with two different variables, you cannot solve it. يبني, you cannot. Okay, solve it. يلا. Why? X is 2 and y is 2. I'll give you another solution. X is negative 4, okay, and y is positive 8. I'll give you another solution. X is negative 10 and y is negative 6, positive 6. You will have the same answer. You cannot solve it. But if you have the y, if this y is x, now you can. X plus x plus x, 3x plus 6 تحكيش 9. لا اوصلك. 3x plus انا بحكي تحكيش 9. 3x plus 6 equal what? Can we add 3x and 6? No. They are unlike terms. Here, what we call this equation, remember? Two-step. Remember? Two-step equation. We shift, divide, shift. Right. If you remove the equal, if you remove this, but a plus, هذا بصير algebraic expression. It's not equation to solve. Yes. Yes. We took the like terms. Like terms means same variable and same exponent, right? If you have x and 3x and 7x, all of them one variable. So you can combine them to be one pair. But if you have 3x and 5y, you cannot say 8xy. You cannot add them because they are unlike terms. Again and again, if you have one equation and two variables, you cannot solve them. Later on, later on in grade 8, you will take two variables, but in two equations. Means if you have two variables, you need two equations. Three variables, three equations in grade 8. Yes? Example, for example, if you want to solve this system, 2x plus 3y equals 9, for example, and 5x minus 2y equals 10. This we call it system of equations. Yani one system. How many variables you have? Two variables. Yeah. x خلاص. Yani if I ask you how many variables here you have, don't say 1, 2, 3, 4. No. You have two variables. So how many equations we have? So if you have two variables, you need two equations at least. If you have three variables, you need three equations at least. But if you have one equation, one variable to solve it, like we did. Got it? No need. In grade 8, you will take everything. طيب. Stop talking, please. طب, let's take a look to the homework. Now, focus with me. Let's prepare some inequalities, and you will solve them at home. Okay? Question 1. I want you just to know when it can be multiplied and when it can be divided. Question 1. Hermes earns $6 an hour. What does this mean? In 1 hour, he earns, got it? Each 1 hour, he earns $6. Up 2 hours, 12, 3 hours, 18, and go on. خلاص? طيب. We don't know. Hermes earns $6 an hour for babysitting. He wants to earn at least 168. So, what we know here, we know how much money in each hour. We know the total of the money he needs to make at the end of the week, right? Nine two. Yeah, he wants to earn at least $168 ليش? To buy a new video game system. خلاص؟ يعني he goes to work some hours and he wants to collect at least 168 to buy the video game system. خلاص؟ اتفقنا؟ طب, what's the thing? Don't continue with the question. What's the thing that we don't know? How many hours he needs to work, right? طب, let x be the number of the hours. ركز معي. If x is 2, 12 hours, $12, صح? If x is 3, 3 by 6. If x is 4, 4 by 6, and go on. So the number of the hours, which we don't know, multiply 6. I want this total of the money be what? Either 168 or more. مش at least كاتب at least. So what's the inequality here? اتفقنا? So the inequality here is 6x more than or equal 168, and you solve it and give me the answer. طيب, question 2. Becky wants to buy some fish for her aquarium. خلاص؟ تعرفوا الاكواريوم؟ حبة مي بدها تشتري فيش تحط فيه. خلاص؟ طيب. She has $20 to spend. How much she will spend? $20. ما حاش غير $20. Okay? طيب. And the fish, the one fish, cost. What's the thing that we don't know? How many fish she can? We cannot say fishes, right? But how the amount of fish? How many fish she can buy, right? How many fish she can buy? Assume that she bought 5 fish. What's the cost? We multiply 2.5 multiply 5, right? Assume she bought 9 fish. What's the cost? We'll multiply 9 multiply 2.5, right? So we are multiplying the number of the fish, which we don't know, by the cost of each fish, which is, but this total of the money should be what? Cannot be more than 20, because she has only what? 20. So what's the inequality here? If you know, raise up your hand, please. If you know, raise up your hand. What's the inequality in question 2? Yes, it's the man. 2.5 multiply the number of the fish which is x we assume less than or equal what 20 مع انه ما حكوا لي at least or at most right but
she only have 20 spin.
صح ما حاش غير 20 she cannot spend more right طيب let's go to question 5 down we did 1 and 2 right يلا question 5 فاهم يا محمد يلا I wrote question 5 a teacher is making tattoos